I spent the weekend playing the MK1 Beta, and I'm here to say that I really enjoyed it. Bugs aside, balance aside, the core mechanics of the game were really fun to play with, and the addition of dash blocking makes the movement much more enjoyable. I struggled to get backwards dash block working. I don't know if that's a limitation of the game or just my execution. So I'll just run through my thoughts in no particular order. The game looks pretty good. It does still have that MK11 look to it, which is a direction I wish they hadn't followed, but it does look good. Actually, this game is still very MK11, not just in its look, but in the way characters feel when they move, when they attack. The rules may be different, but the feel is the same. While I'm not a fan of that, the rest of the changes make it something I like a lot more. The classic meter system is great, and it's interesting to see how you build meter from landing attacks now. It used to just be during specials, chip damage, and getting hit. Now, just making contact will build meter. I suppose this is to better feature the more meter-hungry options like Combo Breaker and the peculiar down-2 launcher that spends 2 bars to get a combo from an uppercut. I didn't experiment with this myself, but it looks cool. Combo breakers use 3 bars, and from what I've heard, they're supposed to require a cameo charge. But I've actually gotten a breaker several times while not having a cameo ready, so I don't know if that's a bug or if there's been a change to the rules, we'll see. If you call a cameo and they get hit, they go into a long cooldown, which I think is great. But interestingly, I've even seen cameos go into cooldown if they get hit during a combo breaker, which again, I don't know if it's intentional or not. One thing I didn't expect, and absolutely love, is the return of the MK9 first hit bonus. Whoever lands the first hit gets an extra bar of meter. It's a great sense of pressure to start a match with, and getting that extra meter can mean an early game combo breaker or something else. I'm so happy to see this return, and the first hit bonus extends to your cameo too. If your cameo lands the first hit of the match, they instantly recharge. At least that's how I think it works. Input windows felt perfectly timed to me. I never struggled with any specials. It's great to see classic EX moves return instead of meter burn garbage. I've already seen MK11 players struggling with the concept of having to press block and attack together to get an EX special. It's gonna be interesting to see them adapt. Sorry guys, meter burn is not coming back. I also feel like the wake-up input timing is really nice. There's a generous amount of input buffering, and I was always able to get my wake-up as long as I wasn't mashing it out. Down ones being more negative on block is wonderful because it makes poke mashing less of a thing, but I'm seeing that grabs still eat low pokes, which I don't like at all. Character dialogue is exchanged during the stage loading screen, so skipping the intro at the beginning of a fight means you don't miss what the characters say. It's a brilliant way to consolidate everything and use time more efficiently. In the single-player towers, it zooms straight from the top to the bottom, which is great because I hate having to sit through that long scroll down. I actually didn't play online, partly because I didn't have an Ethernet cable that reached my PS5 and I wasn't about to play on Wi-Fi, but that's fixed. I spent all my time just figuring stuff out. I made a combo strategy guide, jotting down all kinds of combo formulas, and really just getting used to the cameo system, which I love. It's a really refreshing way of thinking for me. I've never played a fighting game with an assist. I mean, I have, but I don't count my days of Marvel vs. Capcom 2 spamming cable projectiles as a little kid as actually playing a fighting game. This is the first time where I'm considering an assist character, and it took me a while to get the hang of it. But by the end of the first day, it started to feel natural. A big part was the button rebinding. I always play MK with block on R1 instead of R2, and MK1 by default has both block and cameo on the right triggers. That's really uncomfortable for me because I don't like using 2 fingers for the triggers, so I bound cameo to L2. Way better for my grip and my coordination. I played exclusively with Sub-Zero, which was not my plan at all. I wanted to play Lee Mei, but I was intimidated by all the lantern conversions. And then I went to Kenshi, and holy lord, he has so many attacks and specials across his 2 stances. I'm simply not ready to go into a character that complex when I don't even understand the game yet. So I picked Sub-Zero because he's simple, he's classic, and that gave me room to play around with the cameo system as I figured out basic combos and how his specials work. I stuck to the single player towers, working my way up the difficulty settings until I could handle very hard, and by that time I was having a blast. I decided on the Sonya cameo because I just love how smoothly her ambush cameo converts aerial damage into combos, and her leg grab cameo was great for switching sides. Overall, I really enjoyed the MK1 Beta, and I'm desperate to get my hands on the full game. I do have concerns for bugginess. People were posting a lot of stuff online about the game screwing up. I hope we don't have some kind of disastrous launch on the multiplayer side. That is a concern. But it was fun. The fatalities were entertaining. I love the addition of cameo fatalities. They're short and sweet, pulling out the classic kills. I had a good time. September 19th, I can't wait.